In this video, I'm going to show you how you can pull in historical stock prices into Excel and then how to calculate that stock's annual returns each year. I'm going to set up a field here for the stock ticker. In this case, I'm going to start with Amazon, and I'm going to use the stock history function in Excel. I'm going to reference that ticker symbol. For my start date, I'm going to enter in a value of January 1, 1999. My end date is going to be today, and to do that, I'm going to use the today function. I just open and close parentheses. That's all I need to do for that one. And by doing so, that's going to automatically update and pull in today's value. For the interval, I'm going to enter in 2 for monthly, and now close this out. And now what this returns is the monthly prices for this stock. And by monthly prices, these are end of month prices. So even though it says January 1, 1999, this is actually January 31st, 1999. So it's going to be the end of January. And so if I want to calculate annual returns, it's going to be helpful for me to use the month function in Excel. So I'm going to use the month function to determine what month this date corresponds to. So it's going to return a value here. So 1 through 12 for each one of the months. And now what I'm going to do is filter these values, because let's say I just want to pull in the end of year values. So using Excel's filter function, I'm going to select this entire range here. So I'm going to look at how far down it goes. So we've got about a few hundred. We've got about 300, not quite 400. So I'm going to go down to just set it to 500 just to make sure I've got everything included. So for my array, I'm going to include these values going down to row, let's say 500. And I'm going to include them. Again, I want to make sure this range is identical, so C3 to C500. And I'm going to include them if the value is 12, meaning that it's the end of December, the end of year value. And now I've got that return. So now you can see I've got these values here for the end of 1999, end of 2000, and so on and so forth. Now, to make this a bit cleaner, what I can do is select this range, right click, format cells, and rather than showing those dates, I'm going to go to custom, and let's say I just want the year. Y. 3 Ys, that gives me the year. So I'll say end of year. Just to make it clear, this is the end of 1999. This is the price. And now if I want to calculate the year over year return, this is really simple, because now all I do is take this current value divided by the previous, subtract 1, and now that's my percent change for that year. So that's my annual return. Now if I copy this down, I've got my returns on an annual basis now for Amazon stock. Now let's say I want to pull in Microsoft stock price. I can do the same thing, just change that, and everything is going to automatically update accordingly. So this makes it really easy now to pull in annual stock returns for whichever stock you want to track. And if you don't want to use the end of the year or December as your benchmark, as the month you want to pull in, you can obviously change this. If you want to compare January, end of February, whatever the case may be, you can just change that from month 12 to another month. But that's how you can easily pull this in using the stock history function. You don't have to pull in every single date. You can just pull in the monthly dates and then pick which values you want by using the filter function, where you specify your entire range and then apply your filter. And then calculating the year over year return is fairly simple. You're just taking the current price, comparing it to the previous, subtracting 1, and that's your percent change. So that's a wrap for this video. If you did like it, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.